What would happen if the sun suddenly vanished? Not an eclipse, not a technical glitch, but a total disappearance from the very laws of physics. What would you see? This is the most brutal thought experiment based on modern science. This is the true fate of Earth. Minute by minute, century by century, after losing its star. For the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you won't feel a thing. Because of two universal constants, the speed of light and the speed of gravity, the sunlight we feel right now was actually emitted over 8 minutes ago. When the disappearance happens, you remain blissfully unaware. Civilization continues to function normally in the final glow. You are enjoying the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds of humanity's final dusk. According to general relativity, gravity also travels at the speed of light. This means the moment the light vanishes, Earth will simultaneously break free from its orbital shackles. Our planet will instantly become a runaway ship. It will fly in a straight line at 30 kilometers per second, deep into the freezing interstellar void. It is a double loss. We lose our source of light and heat, and we lose our gravitational anchor. During these final minutes, cities remain noisy. The countryside remains peaceful. No one knows our home has become a cosmic drifter. This extreme ignorance, contrasted with the coming catastrophe, creates the ultimate dramatic tension. Then, 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, eternal night falls. The sky is switched off like a giant lamp. Total darkness. The Moon, Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, all our familiar neighbors, vanish instantly. They do not shine. They only reflect the sun that no longer exists. Now, the stars appear brighter than ever. They look like diamonds scattered on black velvet, cold and sharp. But beneath this beautiful sky, at the bottom of the biosphere, a silent disaster has begun. Photosynthesis stops globally. The ultimate energy source for almost all life is cut off at the root. For humanity, the first reaction is global panic, chaos, and disbelief. Social media collapses under a flood of information. Rumors and conspiracy theories run wild. Then, the blackouts begin. Solar farms fail first, triggering a chain reaction. Within minutes or hours, global power grids fail due to surging stress. Cities lose their light one by one. People frantically turn on flashlights and car beams. They try to push back a darkness they have never experienced. This darkness is different from any night, because behind it, there is no longer a hope called dawn. 1 hour after the event, the temperature begins to plummet. Earth becomes a radiator that only loses heat. It radiates its billions of years of accumulated warmth into the absolute zero of space via infrared radiation. The temperature drops slowly but steadily. 1 day later, global average temperatures have dropped by 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. People snap out of their initial shock. Primitive survival instincts kick in. The fragile social order begins to crumble. Supermarkets are looted for food, water, candles, and batteries. Demand for heating peaks instantly. Coal, oil, and gas, the fossil fuels that once powered civilization, are now the most precious resources for survival. Being outdoors becomes extremely dangerous. The threat is not just the biting cold, but the risks born of darkness and the collapse of order. 1 week later, a new, frozen normal takes hold. Global average temperatures drop to around 0 degrees. The once temperate and tropical regions are hit by unprecedented blizzards. The oceans, Earth's massive heat reservoirs, begin losing vast amounts of energy to space. The initial chaos starts to stabilize into a grim reality. Survivors support each other. They migrate toward fixed energy sources, nuclear plants, geothermal zones, large hydropower stations, or underground bunkers with massive fuel reserves. The tightly connected global society regresses into isolated island communities. In this new world, knowledgeable scientists and engineers who can maintain equipment become the most valuable people. Life revolves around three core themes: finding food, maintaining energy, and surviving the endless cold. Agriculture is now officially a thing of history. 1 month later, the global glacial age truly begins. Surface temperatures drop to -20 or -30 degrees Celsius. The world's oceans begin to freeze rapidly from the surface. The ice grows thicker every day. Atmospheric circulation, which once drove storms and monsoons, weakens as surface temperature differences vanish. After the last few blizzards, the world falls into a dead silence. The surface is no longer fit for human life. Survivors are forced underground. This becomes the ark for the new humans. They rely on nuclear and geothermal power to maintain a fragile ecosystem. They might use artificial lights for hydroponic farms, growing mushrooms and shade-tolerant vegetables. Strict food rationing is the core of life here. 1 year later, Earth reveals a face it has never shown before. Average surface temperatures stabilize between -70 and -100 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the atmosphere itself begins to snow. Carbon dioxide, then oxygen, and finally nitrogen reach their freezing points. They fall from the sky like snowflakes. A brand new layer of solid air snow covers the already frozen surface. The ocean ice is now hundreds of meters deep. If you could return to the surface now, you would see an unimaginable vision. The entire Earth is covered in white crystals of frozen atmosphere and deep blue ice. Under the eternal starlight, it is a world so beautiful it takes your breath away, yet it is completely dead. Between underground outposts, a faint connection might still exist through deep-buried fiber optic networks. They share survival skills and knowledge. They become the living hard drives of human civilization. Their primary mission is no longer progress, it is survival and the preservation of human heritage. Back then, listening to this inherited knowledge before bed in an underground shelter would be a perfect time to use the soda music feature. It allows for lock screen playback and timed shutdowns. You wouldn't have to worry about the screen staying on all night and draining your precious power. Deep in the long darkness, we reach 100 years later. The surface is now an absolute forbidden zone for life. Temperatures have dropped below -200 degrees Celsius, nearing absolute zero. The atmosphere that once protected us has almost completely collapsed, solidified, and deposited on the ground. Earth has become a frozen rock planet, much like Pluto. If humans still survive, they exist only deep within geothermal hubs like Iceland or Yellowstone. They survive solely on the heat generated by the Earth itself. After generations, they may have evolved into an isolated community with a vastly different culture. Memories of the sun have become tribal myths. An ancient legend of a god of light and warmth. 1,000 years later, the deep ocean becomes the final fortress of life. The surface ice is now kilometers thick. It is enough to shield against the extreme cold of space. But beneath that heavy shell, protected by heat conducted from the Earth's core, the deep sea remains liquid, especially near hydrothermal vents. These vents, spewing high-temperature fluids miles below the surface, are where life may have begun 4.6 billion years ago. Now, they are the final refuge. This ecosystem consists of tube worms, blind shrimp, and countless microbes. They do not rely on sunlight. They live off the geothermal chemical energy from Earth's interior. The disappearance of the sun means nothing to them. They will continue to thrive here, knowing nothing of what once happened on the surface. The spark of Earth's life continues in these last warm waters. 1 million years later, the final fate arrives. In most scenarios, Earth will remain a dark, frozen rock forever. It will wander silently through the vastness of interstellar space. Its internal geological activity will eventually stop as the core cools. The energy sustaining deep-sea life will run out. The magnetic field will vanish. However, there is a tiny, almost romantic possibility. In millions or billions of years of wandering, Earth might be lucky enough to avoid fatal collisions. There is a microscopic chance it could be captured by another lonely star. If that happens, the surface ice might slowly melt under a new light. But the planet will wake up to a brand new, completely alien sun as a barren and silent world. This is the complete story of Earth without the Sunday. From the first 8 minutes of ignorance to the first week of chaos, the first century of frost, and the million-year-old island of life near the vents, it tells us that Earth is both fragile and resilient. Life is both tiny and great. The loss of the sun removes the dividend of life, but it reveals the planet's foundation, that still beating core. So, when you bask in the sun again, don't just see a celestial body. See the delicate and fragile balance that sustains our entire civilization. Now, let's push this experiment to the limit. If you could take 3 things into an underground shelter to guard the last spark of humanity, what would you choose? A seed, an encyclopedia, or a promise? Tell me your answer in the comments.